Isfet Archives has adult language and violence and is not suitable for children. Listener discretion is advised. Isfet Archives is a Creative Typo entertainment production. If you enjoy this show, we invite you to support us on Patreon at www.patreon.com/Creative Typo. All levels of membership include ad-free listening, and our binge tier includes access to this complete season. Thank you for listening.
Chapter 22. The Chaotic Day of Amber Lang.
George trailed behind Marcus, their steps leading them to apartment 518. With all his years in the police force, he had never felt such a potent mix of anxiety and guilt over decision. He had also never interacted with a secret criminal organization such as the Contra, and he had definitely never orchestrated a hostage exchange. Yet, here he stood, alongside Marcus, the very embodiment of his current guilt, prepared to trade him away for Mariano Davis, should the opportunity arise. Not wanting to throw all his chips on the table, Bullard had left Emily in the car. If he had his way, she would stay in the car until all this was over. He had no desire to turn either Emily or Marcus over to the Contra, but if he had to protect one, it was Emily over Marcus. Marcus was a criminal. Emily was innocent, as far as he knew. At least that's what he reminded himself as he motioned for Marcus to knock on the door. With zip-tied wrists, the young man raised his hands to knock. Marcus hesitated and looked back. George, with a firm click, released the safety on his sidearm and nodded at Marcus a second time. The thief knocked.
Hello in there? It's Detective Bullard. I know you're in there.
It's unlocked. Come in, keep your hands where I can see them.
All right, we're coming in.
All right, move to the side, hands up. Kid can close the door.
It looks like we're shy a body. Where's Emily Swanson?
She's safe.
And that's not what she asked.
I brought Marcus to prove that I have him. I want to see Davis and Amber now.
You don't get to set the terms. You do as we say.
Then no deal.
You got a death wish, Detective?
Let's keep this civil, George. We don't want anyone to get hurt tonight.
Prove it. Show me Davis.
All right. He's back here in the kitchen. See for yourself.
Don't try anything stupid and keep your hands where I can see them.
My hands are up. I'm just going around the corner here.
Davis is restrained but unharmed. He's sedated, so he might be a little groggy.
Hey, Davis. You okay?
He's been gagged and still might be sleeping. Nonetheless, you have my assurance that your friend is fine.
All right, you've seen him. Now, where's Emily?
Not yet. Where's Amber Lang?
Oh, like you don't know.
What's that supposed to mean?
You know, you're really starting to piss me off.
Hey, I could have called the whole precinct down on your asses, but I didn't, so calm down and meet me halfway here. I just want assurance she's safe.
No, you're lucky I don't stick you like a pig and just ask the kid.
No, he's right. He came here in good faith, so we should meet him halfway. I'm Agent White. This is Agent Brown. We work for an international counter-terrorist organization. Despite my partner's bravado, we have no interest in hurting you or your friend, and Miss Lang is not present.
So where is she?
Unknown. She typically swims at the YMCA on Thursday nights. We expected her back some time ago, but she has yet to arrive. We believed that you or Emily had tipped her off to our presence.
You're lying.
I assure you, Detective, we do not have her.
We got her cat if you want to see it.
Feel free to check the bedroom and bathroom if you'd like.
I think I will.
Good. Once you're satisfied, it's just us. Will you uphold your end of the bargain and get Miss Swanson?
Yeah, the faster you bring us the girl, the faster we can get out of this fucking chicken shit city.
Yeah, sure. What's your interest in Emily anyway?
None of your goddamn business is what.
As mentioned, Brown and I are part of an international counterterrorism organization.
Right. You want me to believe that Emily and Marcus are terrorists?
Hardly. But they are connected to terrorists.
Oh, September and Hastings?
Oh, ding, ding, ding! Those detective classes are really paying off.
September and Hastings are high-profile terrorists. They've been linked to homicide cases in at least 18 different countries. And for some reason, they really want to recruit Emily and Marcus.
So, Emily's your bait?
If possible, yes. If not, then we'll simply hold her for questioning until the two terrorists have been apprehended.
Hey! We said you can check the rooms, not go into them. You can see in there just fine.
All right. Looks like you got a leak in the bathroom here. There's a drip from the ceiling.
Oh, I'll make sure to lodge a complaint with maintenance. Now keep those fucking hands where I can see them.
Okay, hands are visible. No reason to get nervous.
George, like I said, we have no interest in hurting anyone. We simply want to take two very dangerous men off the street.
Taking hostages doesn't seem too far off from terrorism, does it?
Detaining your friend Davis was unfortunate. We didn't foresee his break-in.
Yeah, your little compadre thinks he's above the law.
Yeah, seems he's in good company.
Okay, you've done your inspection. It's just us here. We've upheld our end of the bargain. Are you going to uphold yours?
Yeah, Georgie, old boy. Do we have a deal or what?
Emily shifted her attention from the entrance of the apartment complex to Amber's fifth-story bedroom window. A brief flicker of light from the bedroom hinted at someone's presence, vanishing before Emily could discern anything through the closed curtains. A complex web of guilt tightened around her stomach, a gnawing reminder of her central role in the unfolding chaos. The danger that now enveloped Amber and Sam, Bullard finding her and Marcus on the road, the relentless pursuit by the Contra, all roads led back to her. The thought of anything happening to Amber because of her was a weight too heavy to bear. Her phone lay dormant in her hands, its screen a blank canvas that mirrored her isolation. No word from Amber, no updates from Bullard. Rational thought whispered that it was too early for any messages, but logic did little to stifle the swell of unease that threatened to overflow. When Bullard had first told Emily to stay in the car, she began to protest, unwilling to be sidelined while Marcus and Bullard went up to meet Amber. Bullard had argued that it would be too dangerous. She knew that he meant it would be too dangerous for her, but after a moment's reflection, she conceded, realizing the havoc her Isfet could unleash. So once again, others charged forward into danger while she remained behind, a useless bystander, adding another layer of guilt upon her conscience. A knock on the driver's side window shattered the fragile veil of silence, sending a sharp spike of fear down Emily's spine.
Oh my God!
Emily, did I frighten you?
Hastings?
Yes.
You scared the shit out of me!
That was not my intention.
Emily, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. But Marcus and George are in that building there, on their way to Amber's apartment.
And they left you out here by yourself?
Yeah, George thought it would be safer for me to stay outside.
He is likely correct in that assessment.
You shouldn't be here.
We've gone over this. I'm not leaving until I know that Amber's safe.
We understand your position. You should know that this is likely a trap. There is a possibility that Amber has been murdered, and they are simply awaiting your arrival.
For fuck's sake, Hastings.
No, she's not dead.
No more talking for you.
I know she's not dead.
I was simply trying to explain that.
Up. I said no more talking.
Okay, September.
It's okay, September. I've gotten used to his shrewdness.
Still. Anyway, Emily, we'll head up to Amber's and see if we can figure out what's happening. Did George leave the car keys with you?
No, he took them.
Okay, well, stay here. If we aren't back in 10 minutes or we don't call you, get out of the car and head to Mike's Tavern. Do you remember that place?
Yeah, how could I forget? But what if something happens to you?
If something happens, it happens. I'm looking after you, not the other way around. I need you to stay safe. Do you understand?
Yeah, I understand.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty, I don't know, worthless? Like, I'm the one here with all this power, but everyone else is out there risking their lives and I'm just playing bystander.
Do you feel like you can control your Isfet?
Maybe.
Enough to confidently say that you will not endanger any of your friends or any innocent lives? I didn't think so. Maybe one day soon, Emily. Until then, we need you to stay safe.
Fine.
Give us 10 minutes, and whatever you hear or see, do not follow us in.
All right.
Come on, Hastings. Let's do this.
It is nice to see you, Emily. I look forward to telling you about our discoveries in the archives.
Hastings.
I am coming.
Be safe, please.
Amber Lang collapses into the back seat of the taxicab, hastily giving her address to the cab driver, a middle-aged woman with a buzz cut. Digging her phone out of her coat pocket, Amber's frustration surges as she realizes her mistake. For Amber, climbing into an Uber or taxi usually meant a moment to herself to scroll through social media or dive into an ebook. Tonight, however, that would not be happening. With a huff, she slammed her phone back into her backpack, then flung the bag into the adjacent seat with more force than intended. She could blame the sharpness of her actions on the evening's drinks, but that did little to ease the awkwardness as the cab driver's eyes met hers in the rearview mirror. Great. A conversation with a cab driver was the last thing she needed.
Rough night?
It was fine.
Fair enough.
Yep. I mean, I've had worse nights, but I sure as shit have had better ones too.
I hear ya.
So, work was a nightmare. Rachel was a real asshole. She was all, "No, that sale was mine. You stole my commission." Which is total bullshit. I didn't steal anything. She's just lazy and tried to cherry pick a good sale.
We don't like Rachel.
Hell no. She's so lazy. But that's not the shitty part. I normally swim on Thursday nights, right? And I couldn't wait to get to the Y and swim some of my stress away. You know, 'cause Rachel.
Yeah, she sounds like the worst.
Right? So I get to the Y, and what do I find? Some stupid children's swimming lesson was going on. Thursday nights are supposed to be free swim. I was pissed. But I'm no Karen. So I just asked the coach about the kids. She told me that it was running an hour late is all. So I grabbed my phone out to start reading my book while I wait, you know? So there I am, killing time on my phone, when out of nowhere, the janitor drops a mop right behind me. The handle smacked the floor and made me jump so bad that I dropped my phone and it slid up next to the pool. Then a fucking kid runs up, and the next thing I know, my phone is doing the goddamn backstroke.
Kids these days.
I'm sure it was an accident. Well, maybe. Kids can be real assholes too, but I didn't panic. I ran down, jumped in the pool, and got my phone back.
Is it all right?
Fuck no. It died. It's super dead. I thought all the newer phones were supposed to be waterproof. Guess not.
Do you have insurance?
I don't think so. That shit is expensive, and it's not like I have kids to break my stuff. Who'd have known that someone else's brat would handle that for me?
I've heard a baggie of rice can help.
Oh, but the night gets better. I ended up getting to swim, but only for half an hour. The kids took forever, and I had plans tonight after the Y, so I couldn't stay.
Oh?
I had a date planned. That's why I have the backpack, change of clothes, and makeup after swimming.
And how did the date go?
It didn't. He didn't show up. But there's a chance that he tried to message me and it just didn't go through, what with my broken phone and all. I don't even know.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He was a Hinge date, so I'm sure it's no big deal. Anyway, I left the fancy restaurant and walked a couple of doors down to a pub. I met a cute guy that was sitting at the bar playing Keno. You know, the poker game that has...
I know what Keno is.
And I won.
Nice.
Yeah. I started talking to the guy and asking him how to play. We got to talking, and he asked for my number, and I gave it to him. Not that my damn phone works. I don't remember if I mentioned that to him or not. Anyway, he showed me how to play. I picked my numbers, and I won $460 on my first ticket. I was obviously having a blast, and the drinks were cheap. So I played another ticket, and I won $2,200 more.
Wow. That's fantastic.
Everyone was cheering for me. It was wild and a little silly. I mean, what are the chances, right?
I should be taking you to a casino tonight.
Right? I would probably tear it up.
Well, don't forget that us cabbies do take tips.
Right. I got you. Anyway, the bartender said they don't pay out tickets over $1,000 on site, and that I'd have to go to the nearest lotto place and get the payout for it, so I'll have to figure that out tomorrow.
Yeah, still, that should be more than enough to get your phone replaced. I mean, if the rice trick doesn't work.
I've been wanting a new phone anyway.
Well, then it must have been fate.
But then, when I left the bar, I hailed the first cab.
The first cab? Did things go super well with Keno Bar Guy?
No, nothing like that. I was heading home, but the first cab only made it 1 mile down the road, and then the engine overheated. The driver didn't charge me, but I had to get out and hail another cab.
Oh, yeah, I've been there. We are pretty rough on these taxis sometimes. Still sucks, though.
It took me a couple minutes to get another cab, but I finally got one and tried again.
Not mine. A second cab.
Not yours. This one drove me all of 2 miles before he got a call from his wife. She apparently went into labor and was at the hospital. He pulled over and asked me to hail a different cab so he could rush to see her.
I mean, that's reasonable, but still.
You are actually my third cab of the night, and so far, you have made it much longer than the other two.
Well, we're almost at your place, so hopefully nothing happens between here and there.
That would be just my luck.
Yeah, don't jinx this.
Actually, can you just let me ride out here at the corner? The GPS always has people stop at the wrong side of the building, and this is the entrance right here.
Sure thing.
Thanks.
And here you go.
Here's $40 in cash. The tap to pay on my phone probably isn't going to work tonight.
I guess not. Do you need change?
Nope, all you.
Hey, thanks. I really hope the rest of your night is good vibes only.
Me too. Thanks again.
With the steadfast determination of a British Royal Guard, Emily monitored the front door of Amber's apartment building. Each minute that her friends were in potential danger felt like an eternity. She wanted to be inside with them. Actually, she wanted all of them to be outside and traveling far away from here. But you can only want in one hand and shit in the other, and then see which one fills up first. Her uncle used to say that. What a stupid saying. Feelings of inadequacy began to hover in the forefront of her mind. She needed to do something. Anything. So, with a small amount of concentration, Emily summoned her Isfet lines. Thousands of blue, red, and pink slender threads ignited into existence. They intertwined with one another, dancing to the rhythm of Chicago, the beauty of chaos manifesting as tangible, mesmerizing strands of magic. Emily focused on Amber's building, intentionally blocking the Isfet lines that originated from locations outside the apartments. She then suppressed the red and pink streams, leaving a weave of blue lines that ran into the building. The view reminded Emily of an old telephone operator's switchboard, where the cables were plugged into different ports on the wall. Only these cables were plugged into people, not phone lines. Her attention climbed from the building's entryway back toward Amber's unit. where, amidst the azure web, she spotted the vibrant hues of orange and green, the unmistakable signatures of September and Hastings, still en route to their destination. The pair hadn't even made it to the unit yet, and Emily was already feeling anxious. There were blue lines near Amber's place, which might have been Bullard, Marcus, and Amber, but there was no way to be certain. It could just as easily have been people in the neighboring units. Then something caught Emily's attention. Her heart leapt as she spotted Amber, unscathed, approaching the building. The sight was a burst of joy, momentarily overwhelming her control and letting the myriad of lines flood her vision. But Amber was safe, and for a moment, that was all that mattered. This fleeting triumph was abruptly quelled by a surge of panic as she realized that Amber was about to unknowingly walk into danger. The sense of dread struck her like a punch to the gut. Frantically, Emily tapped Amber's name into her phone and pressed send. The phone rang once and then went to voicemail. For some stupid reason, Amber's phone must have been turned off. Why couldn't she have her stupid phone on like a normal person? Emily checked the side mirror for approaching vehicles and then began to open her door. She could shout for Amber. She could warn her not to go inside, but Emily hesitated. There was a good amount of distance between her and Amber. She could scream out and maybe Amber could hear her over the traffic, but then she would be announcing her location to any Contra-operative within earshot. That could put Amber and herself at more risk. The moment of hesitation cost Emily too much time. Amber had taken the last few steps to the building entrance in a quick jog. Emily couldn't blame her friend. It was cold outside. She released the door handle and melted back into the passenger seat. Everything about this night was so complicated and overwhelming. Did she just let her friend walk into a death trap? If she had called out, would it have put them both in more danger? If Amber got to her apartment and heard people fighting inside, she would run away, right? She's a smart person. She's not going to investigate on her own like some dumb character in a horror movie. Emily locked her focus onto Amber's Isfet line. She couldn't see her friend anymore, but she could sure as shit track her movements through the building. She just had to keep track of which magic thread was Amber's. Then another color sparked to life in the corner of her eye. This Isfet wasn't blue, green, or orange. It was maroon. A cold dread blossomed within Emily's chest as her heart sank. The maroon line heralded the presence of the shifter, and it was moving toward the apartment building. As panic took hold, a second attempt to reach Amber proved futile, her plea once again greeted with a cold disconnect of voicemail. For fuck's sake, why couldn't anything just go right? Bound by instructions to remain in the car, Emily wrestled with her conscience. Bullard's orders, September's directive, even what she assumed Amber would want, all argued for caution. But the stakes had changed. With a resolute grip, Emily wrapped her fingers around the door handle. Tonight, she refused to be a bystander. Detective Bullard is voiced by Tony Kinney. Agent Victor Brown is voiced by T. Alexander Saxton. Agent Natalie White is voiced by Sarah Callaham. Emily Swanson is voiced by Tisha Zang. Hastings is voiced by Adam Culbertson. September is voiced by Richard Collins. The cab driver is voiced by Lacee Scriven. Amber Lang is voiced by Nari Kwak. And narrated by Michael Cole. Isfet Archives was written by Nico Rodriguez in collaboration with Tisha Zang. Isfet Archives is a Creative Typo Entertainment production. Find out more about our show at www.creativetypo.com.
A very special thank you to our executive producers from Patreon, Nick Mead and Patrick T. Arsenault.